Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to round 13 of the 2023 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Pace car off and in. Jordy Lopez leads off of 4. Let's go racing at New Hampshire. Early 3-wide dive to the inside. Minter, contact there. He'll slide up on the nose of Wyatt Tinsley after he was the aggressor going to the apron on the opening lap of this race. Now he'll go under the 11 of Parker White. That one a battle for 7th and 8th spot. Up front, though, first lap goes in favor of the 3 of Jordy Lopez. And now both of the brawling duos have been split apart, with the 75 car in the middle there. But I just think everybody's angry because Caden Honeycutt just gave a shot to the 25 at Nick Ottinger to move Ottinger out of the way. They weren't even fighting for position until that moment, and then he moved him up and out of the way. So there is a lot of hard feelings apparently here in the midfield, only a quarter of the way through this race.
I really think at this point, if you're staying out, you're in it for the long haul. You'd be really doing yourself a disservice to go this long and then come down and eventually pit.
There's a look at Dylan Alt's number 40 machine. Some new colors.
Oh, we got trouble for the race lead. Casey Kerwin saved it. Malik Ray was in the back of him, and somehow Casey Kerwin did not spin as we have a battle up front for the top spot as Malik Ray had Casey Kerwin jacked up off of turn 2, and a great save there, but that's definitely going to cost them some time.
As that 2 of Corey Vincent can slide in the middle, and a caution has come out with 41 laps to go. It is the 41 who has gone around. Trouble on track for Dylan Duval. And oh boy, does this shake things up in the middle of a pit cycle. The leaders have all pitted and been out for about a dozen laps, and those top 15 did not pit, and this will make a strategy play very interesting.
By staying out and employing this strategy, so good call for them. We'll take a look at it one more time, and this is kind of what comes of that, Evan. You see Donovan Strauss, fresh tires, Dylan Duval, old tires, and that's just the difference in speed, where guys think they're going to end up at the end of the corner. But this is definitely going to change everything. We saw a lot of crazy racing in the first 20 laps. Now it's inside 40 to go. We have drivers whose entire seasons are on the line, their playoff hopes. And we got a lot of strategy playing out. This is going to be good. And again, if you're Strauss, that's the last thing that you want. Michael Cozy Jr. kind of moving away from that caution. We're going to take a look at it one more time here off of turn 4. There's really nowhere to go. You can see a little bit of fishtailing. I think he may have caught the back end. I think that was Graham Bolin for Charlotte Phoenix in the 48 right there. Just got a little bit loose off the corner, and Bias kind of making it 3 wide there was really tight amongst all those cars. Unfortunately, Bowden gets involved in it. A couple of cars plow in, and I think this is, based on what we've seen of this series, at least recently, Evan, this might be a sign of things to come.
30 laps to go at New Hampshire. Lots more 3 wide, beating and banging in the midfield. Up front, though, Strauss able to hold on to the top spot for the moment. No movement from Vincent. He stays P10 as the first car on fresh tires, now 11th. He actually loses some as you look at the battle for 3rd and 4th position. Tinsley in the 20 trying to hold off, but here comes McKissick to the inside as the 8 car Conti joins the fun. How about the charge up front for the WR1 Chevy?
Side by side down the back straightaway, and Garrett Lowe looking for redemption after Nashville will go into turn 3 and take the race lead, at least for the moment, from Donovan Strauss.
Halfway and now all the way clear. New race leader at the end of lap 74. Garrett Lowe leads his first lap of the McConey Setup Shop 101. All things considered, same strategy.
My goodness.
Look at this mess. The 18 car sideways as Zelensky gets into traffic, and it is all going to stack up. His teammate Falkingham also goes around. It's a parking lot into 3, and it is yellow number 3 of the day. We'll get another perspective. And again, anybody who saw that iRacing drone shot could have called this one coming. It's the 18 in the middle. Watch the 43 underneath. Here's where the contact's going to be just a nose up. And does Bobby come down? Maybe 43 comes up. It's the staggering that just gets him out of line. And the actual spin happened with the 77 and the 54 in the bottom as the 18 went up. Everybody else tried to go low to avoid him. And it was kind of the non-wreck that caused the wreck. Let's see the perspective here from Bowden. When in doubt, throttle out. He finds the hole through and gets through clean to turn 3. We'll see if they can get the green flag laps needed to make some moves up front. New race leader Garrett Lowe brings us to the green flag and 22 laps to go from Loudon. Here comes McKissick, gonna challenge Strauss in the battle for second, and that's gonna give that 15 some clean air off at turn 2.
And this is a run that Brandon McKissick has really needed this season in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Was a part of the Road to Pro and the Contender Ladder for such a long time. Finally was able to make his way to this series, but like a lot of rookies who make their way into this series, it's a tough sledding as we have a huge wreck on the front straightaway. You can see Garrett Maines is spun out, and we will rack him up and try it once again.
On the backstretch for another late race yellow. Jordy gets through, maybe with some bumps and bruises. Think about a dozen or so others not as fortunate. Let's take a second look at how this one went down. And again, the focus is going to be the 36 of Brandon McKissick, 4th at the time. The 4's behind, and watch for the twitch right there. It just that little bit loses the speed. The 4 cars there getting pressured from behind. They make contact, and then it's when Lucy comes down. Right there where he collects a whole host of more cars. Conti looking to tie up Bobby Z for the most wins so far this season, but it's a good jump once again for Garrett Lowe on the inside. He'll lead to 1. Strauss tries to get to the inside of Conti. Can't do it though. 8 cars gonna maybe be clear off of 2. No, gets a little bit sideways there. And this is good for the 15 if these 2 fight for second.
He needs them to fight for second. They're 3 wide behind him. Novak sending it down on the bottom, and that Andy Santerre throwback off of turn 3, nearly a couple inches apart. Again, if you're Mullis, you can't be too aggressive. You have that win, but you need the points too. You got to be in the top 20. So Mullis, I know he wants to be aggressive, but right now, you need to think long term. You need to think about the points that are important tonight. You may not be able to drive through the field, go up there and win this race, but right now you're in the playoffs. You probably need to think about maintaining that at this point.
As now the 20 and the 75 fight up the inside. 3 wide in the battle for third. Is there enough room for all of them? Off at turn number 2, it's the 20 at Tinsley fighting for space in the middle. Caution will come with 3 laps to go, and we are headed to eNASCAR overtime. An issue with Bowden. Alan Bose split out in the grass in turn number 4 as well. What happened back there? A second opportunity. Let's see what happened to the 40 car.
Yeah, Dylan Auld, unfortunately, he's in the middle there. It looks like Bowden comes up. Maybe Cozy may move down a little bit. He was pretty much just an innocent bystander here. And again, this is all the way back, battling for what, probably 28th or so. So way behind him. Yeah, you see he slides up the racetrack after contact with Bowden. He gets the worst end of it, but again, that changes the whole complexion of this race.
Below the control car, the black 15 to the inside of the front row. Freshest tires, Novak, the 75 on the inside of row 2. Green flag in the air, 2 laps to go, and it's a mighty start for the 15 car. Needs to get to the white for this race to be official. Barney the flagman stands ready as there was smoke behind, but this race is official. The battle for second has Novak on the inside of Strauss. The battle behind them for 4th sees Tinsley fight with Michael Conti, but all that matters up front is Garrett Lowe, entered tonight 14th in the points and outside of the playoffs with 2 races to go. He'll come off a turn 4 with a golden ticket in hand. Garrett Lowe wins the Maconi Setup Shop 101.
Have the perfect strategy and have the speed to get it done. What a race from Garrett Lowe.
And a celebration that is about 14 days overdue. He feels this winning moment is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of eNASCAR, as Garrett Lowe is victorious at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. What a drive for the 15, and maybe it's one of those ball don't lie moments for Garrett Lowe. He feels like that last one should have been his, and this one is his. He will get a huge race win to vault him to a playoff position just before the final week of the regular season. Let's take a look at the Coca-Cola move of the race, Blake, and almost like we drew it up in the huddle. He said they needed to get a good start, and he needed them to fight for second to give him a gap, and it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Felt like we kind of got robbed there last week in Nashville, and we had a killer car. Believe it or not, this is the least amount of time we spent on a setup since Atlanta earlier this year. We just kind of had everything clicking along since Nashville, and we knew what we had to do. Showed up, had to use the bumper a couple times, but I mean, that's the way we're racing now. So short track racing, and yeah, winning the bank, and I think we should be locked into the playoffs here going into next week at Pocono.